Hey dudes, welcome to Splat from the Past, the only 80s themed horror and sci-fi show where things can get totally radical. Now today, I will be welcoming back my good friend, the hilarious comedian Stephanie Hodge. I had dinner with her back in September in LA, and she was just a barrel of laughs. We were cracking up all night with stories, and me and my friend, we had a great time hanging out with Steph. And I'm having her back on the podcast today to just talk about random shit, have some fun bullshitting, and just, entertaining whoever's listening, pretty much. I love Steph. She's fucking awesome. She is the booby prize, as they used to say. I'm sure she'll appreciate that. Get it? Booby. So, here is my new interview with Stephanie Hodge.
Hello.
What's up, Steph? How are you?
Oh, man. I am a lazy old broad today. How are you?
I'm spectacular. After I did my first interview this morning, I went over to the store, got myself a nice cold frappuccino and some bagels, and I'm good.
Oh, man, that sounds good. Me, I'm just drinking coffee. That's what I'm doing today. That's my day. I'm drinking coffee, waiting for you.
Awesome. As soon as
It matters.
as soon as I got back from LA, oh my God, so much shit happened, I'll tell you. So much crazy shit.
Really? What went on?
My brother, his mind and his drinking just fucking went berserk. And last week of September, he fucking went on a rampage. We had to put him in jail for a month.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry, because that's what you need. Jesus.
Yeah. He's okay, though, now. We went to court yesterday. They released him. Now he's got to go to mandatory rehab for 6 months, and he's going to be on probation for a long while. But he's okay and stuff.
Wow, oh, man. That's a lot of those for everybody. Jesus, I'm sorry.
Yeah. It was traumatizing. For the first night or so, I was just having nightmares and just being restless, there's a part of me that wanted, I wanted the whole situation to be better than it was, and, I couldn't do it, and it was just really sad for me. But he's back now. He's a different man. He's been sober 44 days or 45, and things could be better. I just hope he can have Thanksgiving with us before he goes into the facility.
Yeah, that would be good. That'd be a good send-off, too.
Yeah.
That kind of togetherness. Wow, that's rough. I can't even imagine.
Yes. Of course, we all have fucked up family stories like that.
Oh, please. Oh, and then after I was working, we said, so do you have any siblings? And I kind of hesitated, and he goes, oh, dear. And I went, well, you? Like she said to me. And I said, I could sit on the ground, but it'd mess up my lipstick. So,
Mess up my lipstick.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
He said, what happened? I'm like, oh, she came with me, called the police, filed a false report, tried to stab me, stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh my God. I mean, yeah, they say that you can't choose your family. You can. I mean, friends are often the family that you choose.
That is the truth. That's the truth. I like my chosen family way better. Way better.
Well, I hope I'm a part of it.
Oh, of course you are, you silly goose.
Oh.
Silly goose.
Oh,
I realize that I got some good cousins, but everybody's dead now.
Oh.
So good.
My mom just lost one of her cousins last week. She was really devastated about it. She hadn't seen him in like 30 plus years, and she was actually thinking about reaching out to him at the time. And it's funny, every time in my family, every time we think about reaching out to somebody and we don't, they die. And it's also...
That happens to me, too.
Yeah.
It's like amazing.
Yeah, and it also happens in podcasting, too. There's a couple people I thought about reaching out to, and one guy, I thought about reaching out to him, and the day that I do, I find out that he died.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah, this character actor by the name of Joe Pilato, who was in Day of the Dead and Dawn of the Dead, George Romero zombie movies. And
yeah.
And he played Dean Martin in Pulp Fiction at the Jack Rabbit Slim's restaurant.
Right. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
He was wonderful. Jeez.
Yeah, and I had thought about reaching out to him like a year before. I just fucking should have. It was just a really hard lesson for me, you know? So now I try to reach out to them as quickly as I can, depending on what my schedule is. And I make a note of, you know, when to do it, you know?
Yeah, it's, oh, God. It's always rough. It's always a surprise. And it's like, I don't even understand it. You know, I have my own family members that just stopped talking to everybody years and years ago, and why, no one knows.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
It's like I have this aunt. I was named after her. My middle name is her middle name. And she was great. She was wonderful. And then, she stopped talking to everybody. And I was even where they live in Northern California doing a gig.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't want to see me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I am outside your house and you're telling me you won't answer the door? Why? What's going on? I just saw you at Christmas 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I send you letters, you don't respond. What's going on? You want to talk? I have no idea. And then, I finally decided, this is it. I'm done. I'm calling. She died. She wasn't there anymore. And I was like, oh, my God. And nobody in the family knew. It's like, what is that? What's going on?
I don't know. I mean, it's just crazy. I've lost 6 family members in the last 4 years that I've been out of the hospital, and it's been just truly it's been a wake-up call. It's been really, really a wake-up call. No other way to put it. About how fragile life is, and the most profound one happened back in March. My aunt, who was she wasn't really my aunt. She was a girl that my uncle fucked in high school, and a couple years later they had a kid. My cousin, she died of cancer back in March, and when my dad called me, I was just about ready to go to the gym, and he told me, and I was lost at words. I kind of knew she was sick, but not really, because after she moved out of the Bay Area and went to Texas, she distanced herself from everyone, and especially me, because she thought I was friends with her ex, which I wasn't by the time they broke up, because he was hitting her and shit. So she distanced herself from us, and so I'm in the gym, and I'm in the middle of working out on the treadmill, and I think about one of the last times that we got to spend time together was 10 years ago. Her and my best friend, who actually she worked with at a Long's drugstore when we were in high school. The three of us were hanging out at the bar that I worked at before I was fired from it, and it hit me that both of them are dead now, because he died. It's going to be 5 years in about a week since he died, and she's dead now, and I started just weeping and sobbing to the point where I had to stop walking on the treadmill. I was just so much a basket case.
Oh, man. And doesn't it seem like it happens in clusters, too?
Yeah.
Does it seem that way to you? It does to me. It's like that, everybody says famous people die in threes.
Mm-hmm.
I think we just notice it in three. Well, no, that's true. It's actually true. But I think it's just universal.
It is. It's
and,
universal.
One goes down and then somebody else and somebody else. It's amazing. It's just amazing. It's like, every year you get out your Christmas card list. And I quit sending Christmas cards about 5 years ago because of this. I got out the old list, and half of them were gone. And I was like, I can't do this. I'm sorry. I cannot do this.
I stopped sending out Christmas cards to people I was friends with about 2 years ago because they weren't appreciative anymore, and they didn't send me anything or nothing. And now I've been getting lots of packages in the mail from people I interview who send me autographs and DVDs and stuff. And so those are the only people I send Christmas cards to now.
Oh, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I had something to send you. I got nothing, pal. I got nothing.
That's okay. You'll get something from me. I promise.
I need to get your address. I can't send you. I am sending cards this year. I decided. But we're being very picky about it.
Oh my God. I back in 2014, I sent a Christmas card and a dick pic to this girl that I used to fuck, right? Who was a friend of mine. And when the Me Too movement happened, I was like, "You haven't told anybody, have you?" She's like, "Of course not. You're my buddy, you know." And I went over to her place, and she had it like right there in the middle of the living room. Yeah.
Oh my word! It's funny. My daughter went on Tinder just to do something.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so funny. She never goes out with anybody ever on that thing, but she talks to people. And this guy was just so like, "What's your address? I send you pictures." She's like, "No, you can leave me alone now. You can stop." She said she quizzes him. She's like, "What would you do if you had $1 million?" "I'd buy a two-story house in Los Angeles and a new car, and I'd start a animal rescue for dogs and bunnies."
Wow, that's...
And she's my kid, so she goes, "Well, what the fuck's wrong with cats?"
We just got a cat here. This little calico kitty. She is so adorable. My mom met this woman at AA, and she was giving away kittens, and she gave her this one. Her name's Laverne, but we call her Cinnamon.
Oh, that's funny when people name cats before somebody else gets them.
Yeah.
That cat, Carbon, his name was Corbin, like Corbin Burnson.
Yeah.
or Corbin, Kentucky. And honestly, I could not look at that cat and think of Kentucky or Corbin Burnson. I'm so comfortable. We renamed him Carbon.
Did you ever work with Corbin Burnson?
No, I have not had that privilege, but I've heard it is fun. I've heard it's a really good time.
Yeah.
I would love to work with him.
Yeah, he's not the pompous asshole he always plays in movies and TV shows.
No, I've heard just, it's one of those things where you always hear the shitty stuff about people.
Yeah.
But you never hear anything but nice things about him. And that's so rare. That's just so rare.
The last thing I saw him in, he was in a TV movie about Heidi Fleiss. The girl from The Sopranos played her. And he was on, I think, Sharon Osbourne's talk show before it got canceled, and he promoted it. And she asked him on the air, she said, were you ever one of Heidi Fleiss's clients? And he laughed, and he's like, no, but I know Charlie Sheen was when we were making Major League. He talked about it all the time.
Oh, my God.
Mm-hmm.
Now that guy, there's a good walking disaster. That's a sad-ass thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I actually put a joke about him in this one script of mine. It was something about something being as low as Charlie Sheen's T-cell count.
It's just so sad when somebody has so much talent and they just shit it away along with their lives. You just go, buddy, come on.
Yeah, I interviewed...
It's a gift. Be grateful. Don't be stupid.
Yeah, I interviewed J.J. Cohen, who was a member of Biff's gang in Back to the Future, and he told me he played baseball with Charlie Sheen at was it Hollywood High School? Beverly Hills High? One of the high schools in L.A. that they played baseball together, and I thought that was hilarious.
Oh, my God. It's stunning sometimes to realize who you've been in contact with before they were, working, or before you were working, or anybody was working. People have a lot of those stories. Me, I don't. I have none of those stories. It's not true. What's that guy's name? Tell us, I'm embarrassed. He was in Dude, Where's My Car?
Sean William Scott?
Yes.
Yeah.
He did a really short guest thing on Unhappily Ever After.
Yeah.
And he'd never done, that was his first thing in LA, and that was, we know that was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
But it was funny because I kept watching him, and I thought, he's just scared and uncomfortable, and when he stops being scared and uncomfortable, that is a good actor. That's a fucking good actor.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw him on the same studio lot when I was shooting something, and he was shooting something else. I don't even remember what was what. And he drove by in a golf cart and had the guy stop, and he jumped out and hugged me. And by now, he's like, the it boy. And I went, what are you doing? I'm hugging him back. And he goes, you were the first person that was nice to me in this town, and you were the reason I didn't move back home.
Oh.
And I just looked at him and I said, can I kiss you on the cheek like an old woman? He goes, sure. So I kissed him on the cheek and said, just be, thank you. And have a really good day. And I thought that was a nice freaking thing to do.
I am a bigger Sean William Scott fan than I ever was.
I mean, who says that? He saw me. I'm walking with a group of other people.
Mm-hmm.
He just spotted me. Stop. Thank you for being nice to me that one day. He was the first person who was nice to me. Everybody was teaching, like, day players. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, yeah, I'm a day player. Good time with myself, my friend. And they're not that nice to you. They weren't. Now things have changed, I hope. But even on Unhappily, people just sort of ignored him, and he was clearly shook. And you see somebody clearly shook on his set, and you're doing work with him, you don't sit there and let them be shook. That's ridiculous. I didn't do anything heroic, but that says a lot right there. Doing a lot of guest spots on stuff now.
Mm-hmm.
People either welcome you and you jump on that train that's moving really fast when you get there.
Right.
And it works out, and it's great. It's a good experience. Or you have to hang on by your keys to that train, and everybody's trying to, flick at you because they don't care. You're just here this week. You're just here today. You don't matter.
Yeah, when you do these guest spots on TV now, is there ever one person there who's like, oh, I used to watch you on Unhappily Ever After. You were awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people that, why don't you do stand-up anymore? I'm like, because I'm old and bitter.
Old and bitter.
It costs more to drive and park than they pay you. So,
Mm-hmm. That is true.
The truth is, it's just not. I'm working on a thing. I am working on a thing.
Yeah.
But I have to approach it differently. And my people and I have an agreement about that. But that's what's really, truly bizarre to me is that, I saw you in this, or I saw you, so I heard about you. And we go, why? That's the one that got me in trouble the last time. They went, why? Why would you have heard about me?
Yeah, I mean, that's true.
It's a legitimate question. I've never done anything, huge.
Yeah.
It's like Nurses wasn't exactly friends. Neither was Unhappily Ever After. So it's one of those things where I'm always curious. Why have you heard of me?
Well, Nurses, was on NBC. That was a huge network show, whereas Unhappily Ever After was on a brand new network at the time. And it doesn't exist anymore, unfortunately. But I would think that more people recognize you from Nurses.
Probably, and the stand-up too is a lot. And this is weird. A lot of the Disney and Nickelodeon stuff, which shocks me. Because
Kids.
I have teenagers going, "Oh my God, when I was a kid, I saw you on this thing." I'm like, what? Okay, thanks. That's cool. I really like you. So then I looked you up, and then I saw you stand up, and I'm like, oh, now So you saw the sweet character I played there, the wacky old lady I played, and then you saw the jungle fuck I played. Now you've decided I'm your kind of girl. I like you. Thank you.
Do you remember Joanne Deering?
Yes. Why? Why do I remember Joanne Deering?
Like you, I thought that she was a great stand-up that never really got the respect that she deserved, especially
Oh my God! Yeah.
especially as an actress too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking about reaching out to her.
That would be very cool. That would be very cool. I couldn't see her face in my head for a second. Do you have that too? It's like you know the name and you know what they are, but you can't see their face in your head.
Occasionally.
You think,
yeah.
I wonder if that's me. That's got to be me. That's just me. That's that hole in my brain doing that stuff to me again.
Yeah, but I agree with you what you're saying about the day players not being treated well. One of my favorite stories about day players, Ed O'Neill, long before Married with Children, he was on a soap opera in New York, a daytime soap opera, and he was on. They took a charter bus and they picked up all the actors, the regulars, the star regulars, the guest stars, and what have you, right? And him and Michael Gross, who later went on to do Family Ties, they were the day players, the guest stars on the show. They're in the back of the bus, and they're having a conversation about girls, and meanwhile the regulars in the front, they're having a conversation about the price of gold because they can afford it.
There you go.
And they had a real snobby attitude towards the day players.
Man.
Yeah, that was like that was like 1980. Yeah, it's still going on.
It is. It was really bad in the 80s. And the 90s. It was bad. There was such a division, but then there was also that time where he did movies and he did television, but his career was on the downslide. It used to be, oh, I'm a movie actor. I never television's beneath me. And I remember looking at these people going, why? Why is it beneath you? More people see you because they don't have to pay for it. But now you do have to pay for it.
Yeah, it's gotten to the point now, I try to ask very little as possible about TV guest starring roles because I hear the same story over and over again. We weren't allowed to talk to the stars. We were treated like shit. It's just, the only time I ever bring it up is when I remember the episode well and I remember specific lines that made me laugh or something. But other than that, I just try to talk about their movie career.
Yeah. It's interesting how things change. It's amazing to me in the industry how attitudes change and things change. And it's getting to me more like work is work, acting is acting. Let's not delineate so dramatically. And a lot of times it's luck. My God, most of it's just luck, It's just luck. Or who you know something about, which is a lot less true now than it used to be. Well, actually, it's more true because now people are listening.
I interviewed an actress today, lots of movie and TV credits, and lots of stories where this person was a jerk, that person was a jerk, and this happened, that happened, and like, oh my God, there's not much joy to your career,
Yeah. See, that's bizarre. You know what it is with me? I don't remember the names of the people who were nasty to me on purpose.
Uh-huh.
Because they could have had a bad day. Seriously? They
could
have had a bad freaking day. And any more people don't get to hang around if they're real assholes.
Yeah.
People aren't tolerating that as much as they used to. And I make a point of making a note, like on my calendar, of like a good experience or somebody that I had a really welcoming experience with.
Mm-hmm.
I do that with makeup artists and hairdressers too. Because along the way, there's always a time, off and on throughout my career, there have been times when I've done something and somebody said, who do you want to do your makeup or hair? get to choose, please recall. I will remember everything that you did that was lovely. And if you weren't lovely to me, I have your name on a list to forget these people.
Yeah.
And this is so funny. I did this thing on Scandal, which was really nice. It was really a nice experience on Scandal. I didn't get to meet any of the regular cast because it wasn't like that's not the kind of part I played.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just a tiny part, but it was just fun. I don't think there's any such thing as a too small part. I really don't.
No, I don't either.
I just want to work.
Yeah.
And there's no place that's too small for me. I'm not going to do background stuff because I don't have the patience for it. And because honestly, if you do that once as an actor, then you're done. That's still true, which is unfortunate. And if you do background, you don't get to move up. That's just unfortunately how it is.
I've seen, though, people do move up from doing background.
It's rare. It does happen, but it's rare. I mean, we have Sean Connery. That's how he got to be.
And so did Bruce Willis. If you look at the Paul Newman movie, The Verdict, he's a member of the jury.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and he was working as a bartender in New York when he did that.
Oh my God. That's the coolest story. Those are great.
Yeah.
Great stories. But it's just so bizarre because I had such a good time. I didn't get to meet any of the cast, but everybody was amazingly kind and welcoming and friendly and caring, and seriously professional in the most fun way. And then this guy used to make up second or third. I don't know which one he was, but he wasn't the lead. Because the lead broke her foot.
Mm-hmm.
On location the night before, so she was being tended to. And I get there, and he tells me he's the lead. And I'd already been told by the AD he's not. And not to believe what he says. And I'm going, why are you putting me there with someone who's going to laugh at me? Maybe I don't care, but I'm just interested. So going there, my theory is however the producers want you to look, you look. My job isn't to be pretty. And so I don't have any qualms about that. And I've done shows with no makeup and hair at all. I've literally walked in fresh out of the shower with a messy bun on my head and walked straight onto set. You can't get, how lucky is that? I mean, come on, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And I goes, well, I'm going to do this and this and this and this. And I said, well, when they saw me yesterday, they said they wanted me to look like I did yesterday. And I said, I just had on my regular street makeup. And he said, the producers take whatever I give them. And I went, really? And he goes, yes, they fear my talent. So, of course, when I got on the floor and the directors brought two of the producers over and said, how are things going? How's your experience? They asked, can you believe that?
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's wonderful. And I said, oh, everybody's been great, but that guy who's stepping in for the makeup lady, jeez. You mean what? They said, if I were you, I'd watch out for all the stars on the door. They can recognize for his own personal use. And I chuckled, and they looked at each other, and I was like, he's fired. But it was the last week of filming, so. But it was interesting because that got back to a friend of mine who's a makeup artist.
Mm-hmm.
That, he finally, and nobody likes him. No other makeup artist like him that have ever worked with him. And she wouldn't normally say anything negative about anybody, but she said, so I heard you got Kovac, in a bit of trouble. I said, oh, I thought that he was an egotist. And that, I didn't even put it that way. I did it my way, in a roundabout, hidden kind of way. But I did tell the AD what he said to me. And I said, oh, no. He said the producers take whatever he gives them because they fear his talent. And she went, okay, that's it. And normally I wouldn't. But he was so freaking nasty. Not just to me, but the gay players. There was a row of gay players. There were maybe 10 tops that day. That's not a big crowd. That's easy.
Mm-hmm.
And he's doing the day players. So clearly he's not the first, because the first always does the stars. And he wouldn't be doing me if he was the first. And they don't do, guests. And he was so nasty. Just a couple of the great players. One guy was practically in tears.
Mm-hmm.
Your skin is awful. I'm like, really? Your sideburns are uneven. And he was just so nasty that I think it was just sort of like, just looking at them and how he was treating them upset me enough just to go, no. It's hard enough doing what they do. Don't make it shitty.
Yeah. It's a tough business, but you know, it's also quite fun, you know, when everything is going right, you know.
Oh my God, it's the most fun thing on the planet.
Yeah.
It really is. I just did an episode of Perry Mason. HBO's got a miniseries coming back with Perry Mason. Of Perry Mason. And Robert Downey Jr. was supposed to play Perry Mason.
Really?
Yeah. And he's too busy. So they have, what's his name? Matthew Rice? How do you say that?
Oh yeah, Matthew Rice Davies. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Something like that.
He's doing that, and Chris Chalk is playing Paul Drake, and I had to look him up because his name sounded familiar, but I couldn't see his face.
Yeah, Matthew Rice, that's his name. Yeah.
Rice. Yeah.
He's a Welsh actor.
Yeah. And it's amazing. It's just, I mean, I went in there and I played this foul-mouthed Betty, because you don't typecast anywhere in this business. But no, it's a marvelous character, really a wonderful character. And it was such a fucking privilege to be on that show.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right
real
now.
Actors, real producers, real directors, taking time and running through things and rehearsing things and asking what you feel and what you think. And most of them, Shay Winningham, I worked with Shay Winningham.
Mm-hmm.
And, oh my God. It was amazing. Tim Van Patten standing there going, what if we tried this? No, I like what you're thinking. And I'm going,
Yeah.
And it's Robert Downey Jr. and his wife Susan, the producer. It's their company that's doing it, Team Downey.
Yeah.
That was just...
Yeah, I see the Wikipedia. Yeah, John Lithgow is in it.
yeah.
Stephen Root.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Oh, Timothy Van Patten's an executive producer.
Mm-hmm. I directed some of them, and God, I wish I could remember the director I had. She was amazing. They were all amazing.
Yeah.
It was just, it's one of those incredible good experiences that you have. And then you start thinking about all the other good ones you had, like when I worked with Reba McEntire.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I will kill for the Reba. Let's just put it that way. I will kill for the Reba.
I would fuck Reba.
I haven't had that many bad experiences. I've had mostly good ones. And honestly, I block the bad ones out as much as I can. I compartmentalize my good experiences over here, my bad experiences are vague memories of a confusing thought. That's it.
How come Robert Downey Jr. himself isn't playing Perry Mason? Because that guy, he can play Sherlock Holmes very well and Iron Man very well. Why doesn't he play Perry Mason?
He's got too many movie commitments as an actor.
Oh. Because
like, wow.
Because HBO, they're doing reboots. They did the Westworld reboot, and now they're doing Perry Mason. Wow, that's just. I wonder how that's going to play out. I hope it's successful for you.
Me too. I mean, it's a different approach to Perry Mason too. It's like his origin. I guess I call it an origin story. How he becomes what he becomes. So it's really an interesting story. All I know about it is, what they told me is that he's a private investigator, and his marriage is breaking up, and he's back from the war from France, and he's haunted by a bunch of stuff, and this child is kidnapped, and he's hired by someone else, the Paul Drake character, to investigate for him. And this is the causes him to become who he became. It's about this child's kidnapping, and of course it opens up into all sorts of other things, you know. But it's a origin story of animation, and it's great. I didn't get a full script to it. They don't do that, you know. They don't let you know everything.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell.
Yeah.
But it's such a great concept, and it's such a great group of people. And who didn't love Perry Mason? I loved Perry Mason.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for me to watch it now because I heard some pretty dark shit about Raymond Burr behind the scenes. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, they said that, you know, he owned a lot of property in Fiji, and the reason why he chose Fiji was because he was attracted to young Fijian boys, you know, just dark, nasty shit. Yeah.
Why, that's a monkey. I had no idea. Acting like a fool. That's terrible. That's gross.
Yeah, and the funny part is, Howard Stern said that one time when he was a kid, Raymond Burr came into his father's radio station to do an interview, and he had his shirt tied, and he was talking really gay.
I knew he was gay. I didn't know he was festive about it.
Or a pedophile, he too.
Or a pedophile.
Yeah.
That's the problem. You know, everybody thinks gay men are pedophiles. Like, well,
I know, that sickens me when I hear that.
Pedophiles.
That sickens me when I hear that. I get so mad. And when I came out about being bi 9 years ago, I think that a lot of people thought that about me. They never told me, but I think a lot of them felt that way about me because they just were so damn mean and distanced themselves from me, like, right away.
That's ridiculous. That is absolutely fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
The whole, oh my god. Straight men are the worst people on the planet.
Well, there's two types of people. There's people who believe that gays are pedophiles, and then there's people who don't even believe pedophiles exist. And if they say that, they probably are themselves. You know, i.e., the judges who let the pedophiles go when they're on trial. You know, and all that shit.
Yeah. Oh, it's amazing to me. It's just, oh my god. And you watch television now and you say, oh, were you a victim of sexual abuse in the church? Were you a victim of sexual abuse? And
yeah, everybody was.
And you just go, oh my god, what's been going on in Boy Scouts, for Christ's sake?
Yeah.
Who can you trust? Where can you put your kids, you know?
Mm-hmm. My brother, he was in Boy Scouts and Little League. He never got touched or anything in those, though, but he did get touched by a Hells Angel biker that my uncle was friends with. He's come out about it in recent years, talking about it, which is a big contribution to his drinking.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Not to talk about that, to harbor that? Jesus God.
And the funny thing is, I never got to go to camp or, you know, Boy Scouts or Little League when I was a kid because my brother just had bad experiences in general, just, you know, with, you know, they were very tiring and time-consuming and shit, you know. Everything my brother did as a kid, I couldn't do just because of that stupid shit, you know. But I wanted to go to outdoor education when I was in 6th grade, and my parents wouldn't let me go.
No, that's like a rite of passage.
Yeah. But I did get to finally go camping when I was 30. My mom, of course, did not want me to go, but I did. I swam with fishes, and you would never have gotten me to do that like 10 or 20 years before.
I know, isn't that amazing, the stuff that you'll do now that you wouldn't before?
Maybe it's because I was drunk, but still, you know.
Well, you know, sometimes a little relaxation, you know, does encourage us to do certain things. It's funny because I just have this absolute fear of dark water. Mm-hmm. I have, oh, God. It's like if I were in the middle of the ocean and somebody said, okay, it's safe, you can swim, I'm going to put you in the water, and you just swim for 30 seconds. Mm-hmm. I would just drown myself to avoid what I know is going to happen.
like Natalie Wood.
Yeah, I'm terrified of dark water. I just am, and I don't know why. I really don't know why. I mean, I lived in Minnesota for years, in Minneapolis. We went skinny dipping in those lakes in the middle of That's just stupid.
Is Lake Minnetonka in Minnesota?
Yes.
Yes, that's where Prince and Apollonia were at in Purple Rain.
Yeah.
I just interviewed his keyboard player about a month ago, Dr. Matt Fink, and he was telling me about how, when that movie Purple Rain hit, like, Prince became more cocky than he had ever been in his life at that point. And it got to a point after a while where he was just unbearable to work with.
That's not surprising.
Yeah.
It's not. Honestly, I just, that's something can you explain that to me? I don't get it. I mean, you spend your life and you want to do something, right?
Right.
You do it. And half the time you starve and half the time you're, high on the hog. But it's just constant work and constant struggle. There's never any peace in it, really. But that's where you find your peace, is in that struggle. After a while, that's just what you do. And it's like you go through all this stuff, and you get great jobs, and you get bad jobs, and there's no such thing as a bad job. There's a bad experience, but not a bad job, really.
Mm-hmm.
And, when you're like me and say, I don't care what I look like, and I'm not concerned about how big the role is, people look at me and say, oh, well, then you're not serious. Well, yeah, I am very, very serious.
Mm-hmm.
And if I am never famous, if I am never rich, if I walk down the street for the rest of my life with absolutely no one looking at me, I'm okay. That's fine. That's Jake, I'm good with that.
Yeah.
So that's not what I'm after. But then you talk about it, it's like you're a crazy person. But if you talk about wanting to be famous and have this stuff and be the thing, that seems normal. And that's not normal. That's the wrong thing, I think.
I know.
Insane.
I made that mistake after I came back from the hospital. I told everybody I wanted to be famous. Everyone laughed in my face. Everyone talked shit about me. And I've learned, I do want to be famous, but I do want to be all around successful, and that's what I need to tell people more and stuff, because I was treated like shit after I said that, and I mean, to answer your question about, why that happens when, people become cocky after, they reach this level of huge success, it's because they believe their own publicity. They read reviews of people saying great things about them, and they believe it after a while. I mean, a guy you knew a little bit, Sam Kinison, he was one of those people, He believed in his publicity, and that's when he went off the rails with drugs and alcohol, and it was just sad. Within 2 years, I mean, he was never the same again.
See, that's just so bizarre to me, because at the height of that, I think I told you this.
Yeah.
We were in Canada at the same time.
Right.
And he was so nice to me, and such a gentleman, and so sweet and supportive. And I tell people that, and they're like, well, that's insane. I'm like, that's just how he was. And I don't know why.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know what. I know my stand-up is, and I know he likes my stand-up.
Yeah.
But it was weird that he was so normal and nice and sweet to me. And I've heard other people say horrible things, and I'm like, I don't know. Maybe it's because that's not what I'm interested in. The people are nicer to me. I'm not threatening to them.
Yeah. Maybe it was your razor-sharp wit and your straightforwardness intimidated him, so that's why he was nice to you, maybe.
Probably, because when we were in the elevator, I was stuck in the elevator, and somebody pulled me back out and said, don't get on that elevator, Sam Kinison's in there, and I just rose in the toilet. Don't fucking tell me what to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I know he was afraid of Roseanne. I mean, every time he talked shit about her, it was always behind her back. He was afraid never to, say it into her face,
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Now, and I heard a story that she allegedly gave him a blowjob in the kitchen at the Comedy Store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
thing that drove him over the edge. They don't think it was the same. I think it was really booked up.
Maybe. Oh no, I got Ambien. Oh! Oh my God.
I will never forget that night. I'm sitting in the audience at the Comedy Store in the little room, you know, and that was the first time I'd ever heard that. Heard the last words of Cole's. I screamed so loud and laughed so hard. I thought I was going to die.
Did you see him when he was doing the homosexual necrophiliac bit?
Yes.
Yeah. The best bit ever.
In the whole world. Oh my God.
He gives everyone the setup and then says, "Hey, I'm not selling this as a fucking home game." Oh.
Oh my God, it's so funny. It's so funny.
I was at home the night that his first HBO special premiered on HBO, and we taped it over like a couple weeks later, but I remember it so damn well, and I have a copy of it I got off of eBay. It's just electrifying, that performance. You know, he did 2 shows that night, and they took the best bits from both of those shows and spliced it together. And they made sure that none of the material from the Rodney specials was on there because he wanted it to be all fresh material no one's ever heard, you know, outside of the comedy clubs, you know.
Yeah. Man, he did work hard. You know, that's the thing, too. We forget how hard he worked.
Yeah. Well, for a while, and then by 87 after that special, I mean, he just fucking ad-libbed off the top of his head all the time, and, you know, not everything he said was hilarious anymore. His follow-up album, Have You Seen Me Lately? Oh my God, he is just bombing. I mean, he's got some funny ideas on there, but it's not as sharp as his first album, Louder Than Hell. And then the third album, there's some hilarious bits on there. There's one bit about Dr. Ruth having a grilled cheese sandwich for a pussy. That's funny, but most of it's terrible. And then after he got out of rehab and he did what was it? Back from Hell, or what was it called? Back from Hell.
I think so.
Yeah. He won the
He
won an posthumous Grammy for that after he died, and deservedly so. He was on fire on that album. He was just sober and hilarious. He was bitter about being a celebrity and talking shit about other celebrities. It was great. That album was just a masterpiece.
I gotta listen to that again.
Live from Hell, it's called. Live from Hell.
Yeah. I should go back and listen to all those again. What did I rewatch recently? Eddie Murphy's last big concert.
Raw,
yeah. And I just watching that going, oh my God. It was so funny. Jesus.
Yeah, when he's talking about you know, eating the girl's pussy, it's like a saltine cracker.
Yeah.
He regrets doing all that material, by the way. I heard him talk recently about that, and he's going to come out with a new special on Netflix next year, I think.
Yeah, I heard that was happening. Why does he regret that? It's so funny.
Because, you know, we're in a sensitive time now where so many people are apologizing for past shit, and I just think it's weak and stupid. I think it's really dumb that people are apologizing for shit they said years ago. And, you know, he's not... I mean, he was accused in the 90s when he went on Letterman, when Letterman was in San Francisco and the gay protesters were there. He apologized to them, right? He didn't need to apologize again, you know. I mean, it's so buried in the past, you know?
Yeah, and that's the thing. There are certain things that people have done that legitimately hurt other people.
Yeah.
And that needs to be attended to. Then there's stuff that everybody did that was just how it was. in the 80s. And nobody thought anything of it because that's how it was. Not because, I'm sorry it was that way. I am sorry it should have never been that way. And it was, and everybody was there. And if you did something or said something, apologize for it and allow those people to move on.
Right.
If they didn't directly, legitimately hurt and individually, move on. Intentionally, too. There's a lot of stuff that's done intentionally that's coming back on as well as shit.
Yeah, Eddie was a guy, too, who believed in his publicity, and he hurt a lot of people. I've heard recently Richard Pryor's bodyguard wrote a book about Richard's about his life with Richard, and he said that when he was going to do the movie Harlem Nights with Eddie, he went to Eddie's house, and Eddie was so fucked up to him. He wouldn't look him in the eye. He was just sitting on his big old throne chair, just being really cocky to him and stuff. And he also wrote that Paul Mooney allegedly molested Richard's son or something like that.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah. I was like, that's heavy shit. Yeah. I'm trying to get Richard's widow on the show, and if I do, I'm going to bring all that up to her and stuff. I was like, wow, that's incredible.
That's amazing. Jesus, yeesh. God. See, that's the thing, too. You have people like Richard Pryor.
Mm-hmm.
One of the funniest people on the planet. And he suffered a lot.
Yeah.
In so many different ways. And you can't forget that. And you can't ignore that. And in his suffering, he progressed. So, who's a better example, right?
Yeah. I interviewed an actor the other day who worked with him in Superman 3, and he said that Richard was just very depressed, very melancholy, did not want anyone talking to him on the set. They had a bar on the studio set, and Richard was there a lot when he wasn't working on the film. It was just a really strange time in his life. It was 2 years after the fire,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was a really dark time for him. I think he was going through a breakup with Margot Kidder, who he was dating at the time, and yeah, that's another thing I'll ask her about too if I get to talk to her and stuff.
Man, just amazing. So many amazing people. There's some amazing people.
I've been
Where did they go? Bring them back.
Yeah, I've been very lucky. I've interviewed so many amazing people. This year has been insane. I've interviewed people this year I never thought I would. And I thought I was going to be stopping it, when I was going to be moving to L.A. until I got fucked over by that girl.
Right. So sorry that happened.
You know what? It's worked out for the best. But next year, things are looking good. I mean, my mom's had this friend who's been staying with us for a while. We've known him since the 90s. He wants to give us his trailer so we can go out there and stay in a trailer park for a while,
That's awesome. That's great.
In the springtime, yeah. And plus, my mom's got, the lawsuit with her work, getting injured and stuff. We win, money. Hell, we can live out there in an apartment for a while, I mean, we got so many options. Yeah.
I can't wait to tell you the idea. Do you know what crazy thing I'm doing? I decided I want a normal job.
Really?
Yeah, I've been away from the real world and living in this bizarre place. I mean, it's not like I'm not in the real world, but I don't 9 to 5 anything ever, and I haven't since 1985.
Do you want to be a hooker?
Yeah, I want something that pays.
Hookers get paid a lot. It's just the pimp fucking takes a big percentage out of it.
I was thinking of doing stand-up at Old Folks Home. Named after, oh, look, it's Lolita. Get a lot of business there. But, well, if some guy's 90, I'm pretty much a teenager, so there you go.
You should wait until...
I do.
You should
I
wait.
really, really, truly do. I want to just know what it's like. I want to remember what that's like to get up every day and be somewhere at a certain time and do a certain task and like do the best I can. If it's like part time, it would have to be part time, and I couldn't do anything that would interfere with my career. But you know, it's like I want to work at a bakery. How stupid is that?
A bakery. Go for it. You know, find.
I want to learn how to frost cupcakes or make them, or you know, seriously, I do. I think that would be just amazing. And then I'm looking into these jobs, and they start at like 3, 4 in the morning. I'm going 4 hours. I mean, that's perfect. I don't sleep anyway. I don't. I do not sleep. So if I went to work at say 4 and I got out at 8, you know, I could take a 8:30 to 10:30 nap. That's pretty much my life. Then I got the rest of the day. So.
I would say go to Nothing But Cakes, you know, and learn how to, like, you know, make cakes there.
Exactly. Ooh, and you know, Sprinkles cupcakes. Have you heard of them? They're the ones with the vending machines.
It's a shop.
Yeah, freak. Yeah, they're bakeries, and there's a bunch of them. And I gotta say, Sprinkles cupcakes. Oh my God.
Oh.
I thought I had tasted the best cupcake of my life at one point, and then I had this Sprinkles cupcake, and I was like, no, this is the one. It's so freaking good. I don't really like cake, so there you go.
If they're in LA, I'm gonna go in the spring.
Yeah, they have vending machines.
Go ahead.
You know, I'm at the mall, and Topanga Mall, walking down there, huge malls. And that's why I love it, because you can just go and walk and watch people and, you know, get your 10,000 steps in. And then you can stop at the Sprinkles machine and get a fresh donut. Cupcake. How good is that?
Oh, yeah.
You know, you can waltz around Neiman Marcus and have everybody staring at you because, you know, they're looking at you like, don't you touch anything.
Oh, when my mom and I, when we were at Monsterpalooza in Pasadena back in April, the parking lot garage across the street, they had a vending machine with gelato in it.
Oh my word!
Yeah.
Oh, see, I have not seen that. I saw the ones they have at the mall, my walk-in mall. I like to call it my walk-in mall because you know I've reached an age where I just feel like I should put on sneakers that have Velcro.
Yeah.
I walk the mall. You know. Maybe wear a red hat. No, I'm kidding. I'm not there yet. And I'll never wear a red hat, a purple sweatshirt. I won't do it. You can't make me. Oh, God, that Red Hat Society. My mother was a member. You know, it's like old broads who wear red hats and purple shirts. And you just go, why? To stand apart? But look at all of you dressed exactly alike. You guys just never got to be cheerleaders. Come on, admit it and move on.
Yeah, I would go. Yeah, I'd go to a bakery or something like Le Boulangerie and maybe, like, you know, get your baking chops done there. You know. I mean,
I would love that. I would love nothing than to start my day in the dark and then walk out into a sunrise smelling like baked goods.
I remember 10 years ago when I was working at the bar, I met this woman who was like super drunk, and she told me she worked for Le Boulangerie at our local shopping mall. And like I went by there, she wasn't there, and I was like, damn it, I was hoping maybe she could get me a job there.
You know what's funny is that, you know, you look into jobs and you go online. It's like I put this resume in just to see what would happen. There's so many home healthcare people that like contacted me and said, we think you'd be great for taking care of elderly people. I'm like, no. I've done it with my father-in-law and my own mother, and now I'm to a point where I could just say shitty things to them. My children never visit me. Well, that's funny because you're a bitch. You know? I don't think that's going to help anybody.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that. It's amazing to me. Oh, it'll be fun. No, it's not fun changing diapers on a grown person. It's not.
No.
Right? And they've done that. No.
Oh my God. So I interviewed this improv comedian that I used to watch on this show when I was a kid, and she told me she used to work as a hospital orderly when she was in her 20s, and she had to clip an old man's toenails, and she says the stinkiest smell ever.
Oh my God! See, I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
But it's amazing because people go, "Oh, it's so sweet of you to do this," and it's like it's more than sweet. You do it because you know it's what you have to do, and it's the right thing to do.
It's torture.
Every moment of it is torture because here you are with somebody who's dying that you really don't want to see die. You know, who wants to see anybody die? I don't. And you know they're dying, and they know they're dying, and they're pissed off about it.
Mm-hmm.
He's my father-in-law. So who are they going to take that out on? You. They're going to take it out on you, and they do. And it's just one of those things where you go, oh my God, seriously. Put your teeth in. You have to put your teeth in. I don't know where to put my teeth in. You can't eat your supper if you don't put your teeth in. And there goes an hour of your life. Put your fucking teeth in.
Yeah.
You can't.
Stick to the bakery.
Yeah. I knew the bakery was a better place for me. And I would love that. And there's do you know how many overnight jobs there are? It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
These hotels, they need somebody to spend the night with the animals.
Yeah. It's crazy.
That sounds like hell, doesn't it?
It does.
And in 4 hours, a night with a bunch of puppies.
Oh.
I have cats, and they poop all the time. I have no problem with animal poop.
Shit, that reminds me. Yeah, that reminds me. Oh my God, me and my mom, we wanted to volunteer for like our local food bank here to for the homeless at Thanksgiving, Christmas time. And shit, when she gets home, I gotta remind her we gotta look into the schedule and call them and stuff. Just being on the streets for as long as we were, so to speak,
Yeah.
just we want to give back,
Well, that, it doesn't surprise me that you would do that. And it's a wonderful thing to do. It really is. It's an amazing thing to do.
Yeah.
This is amazing. I called last year to volunteer. They didn't need any volunteers. They had more than enough. And I called so many different places, and I was like, really? That's the best thing I've ever heard.
Mm-hmm.
And we wanted to do it within the realm of our community. And when they don't, downtown is downtown.
Yeah.
We have other people. And so many, the firemen and stuff, Matthew McConaughey's barbecuing ribs for them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's amazing that people are actually stepping up more and more every year, I think. Does it seem that way to you?
Yeah, in certain areas. In the Bay Area, though, oh my God, let me tell you something. There was a couple of years where my mom couldn't be in town for Thanksgiving or Christmas because she was across the bridge working or whatever. I was looking into free Thanksgiving meals in certain places, and very few churches and community centers had had free Thanksgiving dinners. And if there was one, it was like the week before. It wasn't like a day before or actually on. And I was like, God, this is fucked up. I mean, homeless people got to celebrate Christmas and Thanksgiving too, And what I did was, I back in 2014, I had to. I was staying in a hotel with a friend of mine, and he had to go to mandatory Narcotics Anonymous meetings at this church. And so I started going there whenever I wasn't with my mom for the holidays. I'd go there because on on Christmas Eve or the night before Thanksgiving, they would have free meals, and they had everything, not just turkey, but they had ham, roast beef, mashed potatoes and gravy, stuffing, everything. Dessert, I mean everything. And I would just go and say, yeah, I'm a junkie, And And I just, I sat through their hour-long, boring meeting and then, ate with them for a couple plates and then I left. And I was just like, God, it's so sad. I feel bad for people that have to do this, But now I get to celebrate the holidays under my own roof again with my mother, and I'm so grateful to it.
That's amazing. That's a wonderful thing. Congratulations. Like, seriously.
Oh, thank you.
Amazing.
Thank you.
It's so funny. Harper, my dad is
Mhm.
working on Thanksgiving this year.
hmm
And she's like, is that okay with you? Is that okay with you guys? And we're like, yeah, that's fine, honey. And she said, I just don't like Thanksgiving. And I'm like, you don't.
The food?
She said, no. No, it's that the family that we spent our Thanksgiving with, my husband's family,
Oh, yeah.
not pleasant.
Yeah, sounds like my godparents.
Not pleasant.
Yeah.
Our whole experience has always been, well, first of all, they're all Jewish, and we're not. Yeah. And, you just go, how can y'all be prejudiced? Sorry, but look at your history, and you tell me how you can be bigoted. Tell me. But, yeah, the other kids their age got lots of stuff, and they got toys and games and, all that stuff, and she sat in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Played with me. And it was like, okay. So sure, yeah, I get that. Thanksgiving at our family farm when I was a kid growing up, there's so many of us. There was like 2 adult tables and 2 kid tables.
Mm-hmm.
And it was havoc. It was the most wonderful havoc in the whole world. It was like a continual food melee. You know what I mean? Piece of ham come flying across the kitchen. That's where the kids ate.
Yeah.
And you'd get a piece of ham in the face. And it'd be like, yay, family. So I always felt bad that Harper didn't have that. My kid didn't have that. But it was literally like that. You'd be sitting there eating and laughing, and all of a sudden there's mashed potatoes sticking to your forehead. And you'd yell, yeah, family.
Oh, boy.
I was really lucky. I was so fortunate growing up, seriously. Very blessed.
Yeah. Yeah, same thing with my with my godparents. I mean, they're rich snobs and they're very conservative and judgmental. And I just can't stand being around them. They want us to come for Christmas again this year, and it's just like, all they're gonna do is ask me the same questions about my podcast because they don't fucking listen to it. They're not computer savvy. They're gonna ask questions about it. They're going to, you know, they're just going to be, dicks pretty much. I mean, they make really good prime rib, and that's what they eat at Christmas time, prime rib. And
That's an unusual choice.
well, he's a big.
I'm from a mountain family.
My godfather, he's a big prime rib guy. From what I've been told from my dad, he was like that, back in 1980 or whatever. He's a big prime rib guy, and he barbecues it really, really good at Christmas time, and that's the only reason to go, pretty much. But yeah, I can relate to how you don't want to go somewhere for Christmas because it's not going to be a pleasant experience.
Yeah, and it's hard. It's sad when you look at your kid and you go, well, you just never had any of that.
Yeah.
She didn't have any of that, and it's just. And the thing is, if I had her 20 years old when I was in my 20s instead of my 40s, she would have.
Mm-hmm.
Then, I didn't, and that's fine. But she's an incredibly grateful person.
Right.
So, and she said when she wanted to work on Thanksgiving because she said, think about it, all those people that, and she's a photographer and she's working on art projects, but she's fresh out of college. You know how that goes. And she's got to work her way in. And she's working at a retail in the meantime. And she said, think about it. All those people that come into the mall on Thanksgiving are trying to get away from people they don't want to be around. Or they're trying to go someplace where everybody can be without there being an argument about politics or religion or, so-and-so doesn't like so-and-so's hair color. And she said, I just want to be pretty cool. That's pretty nice. And it's true, you know, people, if you're having a ball at your house at Thanksgiving, you're not going to go to the mall.
Yeah. Yeah. There's things that I want for Christmas this year. It's funny, you know, I have such a short attention span to read books, but a couple of biographies that have come out I want for Christmas this year. Rick Baker, creature and makeup artist.
Oh, yeah.
He has been doing a lot of press for his book. He's been on Mark Maron and Joe Rogan's podcast, Gilbert Gottfried's podcast, and stuff. Oh my God, that guy has had a fucking amazing career. He, oh my God, so many people told him he wasn't going to be successful or make it and shit. You know, he won 7 Academy Awards.
Yeah, you know, he did my makeup.
For
oh my God, I did one horror movie and I can't think of the name. I'll think of it. But he was the new guy then. This was early 80s.
Uh-huh.
And he was just the nicest guy, and he was great, and I was just like, I knew about him. Of course I would. I still had a Fangoria magazine subscription. And it was one of those things which I kept, mind you, until I was 40 years old. It was funny because I just was stunned at him. And we were in his workshop, and I'm looking at all this stuff going, oh my God. And I knew about him, and I was just tickled to death to be around him. And he was just amazing. And I just remember thinking, you're going to be so famous. You're going to be so famous because you do stuff nobody else does in a way nobody else does it. And I didn't even know that much about it, but you could just tell. You know, you could just tell. And I didn't know he went through all that stuff. That's unfortunate.
Oh, yeah. He said that one of his first jobs was the Kerwin Matthews movie, The Octagon Man or whatever. And him and the other special effects makeup guy, they had both worked together at Clokey Studios for Gumby and Davy and Goliath. They both had long hair, and one of the producers on the movie was such an asshole. He would refer to them as the girls. He said, "Hey girls, bring your creature now."
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It was I Madman.
Oh yeah, I Madman. Yes. What's his name? What's his name? Timber something directed.
Yes.
I reached out to him and I haven't heard back. Yeah.
Is it talked about?
I Madman? No. His movie The Gate. His movie The Gate gets talked about more. I love that movie.
Right. Oh yeah, absolutely. He was great. That was a remarkably cool experience. That was really fun.
Yeah. I want to interview what's her name who was in I Madman, Jenny Wright.
Jenny Wright, she was wonderful. Oh my God, she was so fun and so nice.
Yeah, I heard she's writing a book about her life, from what I've been told.
Oh, well, that's cool. I would like to read that. She must be some shit.
Yeah, because I know a guy who interviewed her a couple of years ago.
What's the other biography you're interested in?
Oh, well, actually, it's old. It's about 25 years old, but I've always wanted to read it. Jerry Nelson, who was a puppeteer for Jim Henson, he had a daughter who died of cystic fibrosis, and his ex-wife, her mother, wrote a book about it in 1994, and I always wanted to read it, but I didn't know if it was still in print. But I went on Amazon and found out it was, so I want to get that.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, I'm just going to let you know both my cats have now joined me in my room.
I interviewed an actress once. She had birds in the background, and they were just like squawking the entire interview.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's funny. This is bizarre. We have this one cat.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Corbin Burnson cat.
Yeah.
And he's like 14 now, and he looks like a kitten.
Mm-hmm.
He's a Maine cartoons. And he looks like a kitten. They always look like kittens, and they're so sloppy. They're just so fun. But he screams. He just screams. He walks up and looks at you and goes, and you're like, Daddy? What are you doing? And then he just does it one more time and stops. And this is new behavior, and I don't know. I had one friend say, well, maybe you're senile. I'm like, no. That's the only out of the ordinary behavior that he has. He's suddenly screaming for no reason.
Oh my God. Hey, I thought of a great topic that I wanted to bring up to you. I bring it out whenever I interview someone who's open-minded and awesome like you, Steph. What do you think? What do you think about the G-spot?
Well, I think it's a wonderful gift, and it should be bigger.
I agree. Especially when it's a fat woman. Oh my God.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah, I've had trouble fingering fat girls, I'll tell you. Yeah.
I mean, that's ridiculous. First of all, just scientifically, that's a ridiculous law. But, you know.
Yeah.
It's just the comics in Minneapolis always used to say, bigger, bigger, smaller, smaller. And I'm like, you guys are so sick. And they were. And most of them still are. God love them, and I do. But it's, you know, I doesn't mean I'm sad, but I do. And, I do. You know, punctuation makes a difference. But,
yes.
Yeah, I don't think it's funny, because I've had this discussion with female friends, and they're like, I think it's a mess, and I'm like, I think you're not giving good enough instructions, is what I'm thinking. It's not a myth, it's an actuality,
yep.
And, you know, needs to be tended to.
I agree with you. Punctuation does make a difference. I've been saying that for 20 years. You know, not exactly like you just did, but I agree. And yeah, and oh my God, when I used to run that open mic night, the bartender manager, she's about 14 years older than me, and she's kind of like an aunt to me, because even though she's 14 years older, she looks a lot older because she's lived, you know.
Yeah.
And her and I, we became fast friends. And we started talking about you know, sex, and she gave me some great sex advice, you know. And I told her that there was this one girl that I was with, you know, she did not want me to use my free hand to rub her clit while I was fingering her G-spot. And so I asked her name's Carrie, by the way. She doesn't mind me mentioning her name. So I asked Carrie, I said, you know, what should I do? And she said, if that happens again, use your free hand to play with her nips.
There you go.
Yes. And I still do that to this day. And it's one of the best things that she could ever tell me to do. And I owe it all to Aunt Carrie.
Well, God bless Aunt Carrie and keep her. God bless her and keep her, as my grandma used to say. You know, it's interesting to me because I don't think there's enough communication between people who, in relationships, I don't think there's enough communication. And there's some point where you just go, if I'm going to spend the rest of my life with this person, we better do some talking. And that's, you know, that's not a selfish thing at all.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's not. And there's just so many women friends that I've had that have said, I mean, I really love my husband, but we don't have sex anymore because it was never that much fun for me. I'm like, you cut your tongue out and glued it to the wall. Come on. How's that even possible? How can it not be fun? What are you not doing? How many books have you not looked at? Come on. Think, talk, try, experiment. You know, wear a wig. Who cares? Just if you're happy, it's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be the most fun thing in the world. So, and it can be, but you can't just lay there.
Yeah. When I was 14, after my mom, she moved out of the house when I was 13, when her and my dad got divorced, and I had to live with my dad and my grandmother for another year. And then I went to go live with my mom, and I've been with her ever since. And I was in my bedroom, and she basically we were living in a one bedroom apartment, right? So we had to share the bedroom in terms of she had her own dresser, I had my dresser, and she slept on a I think it was like a cot bed or something, in the living room, you know.
Yeah.
And I went through her dresser one day, and she had a copy of the book, Everything You Always Wanted to Know About Sex But Were Afraid to Ask.
Yeah.
And I was shocked because let me tell you something. My mother, when I was growing up, my mother and my grandmother, they came off like such prudes, I'll tell you. And I was just shocked that my mother had this book, right? But then once I reached adulthood, I got to know my mother more, right? My mother, I get her. I inherited her free spiritedness that I see now that I didn't see when I was a kid, right?
Well, yeah. And, when you're a kid, your parents are, your mother is saintly. Mothers are saintly.
Yes.
Unless they're, stabbing you in the throat. Everybody thinks their mother's pretty saintly.
Yeah. She's not easily offended, but she is one of those people who believes that, dirty talk and dirty jokes have a time and a place. And so, like we went to a convention a couple weeks ago, and my friend who was there, she wanted me to tell her a dirty joke, right? And I told her, I said, I will when my mother's not around because I don't want her to hear it at this point in time and stuff. And she said, okay. So so I'm very careful and stuff. But my mom, she is fucking hilarious when she comes up with dirty stuff.
I'm so sorry I'm coughing. Oh, that's very class the way it should be. I mean, that's the thing, you have to be real with your kids.
Yeah.
His kids know anyway. Anyway. And it's funny that you should mention the book because I was changing the sheets in my parents' bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
When I was like 18, I guess. And I found that book under the mattress.
Right.
And well, you know me, I just looked at that book and I sat down and I'm looking through it. And then I went downstairs and I was sitting at the kitchen table and I went, shut up, what about this thing?
Yeah.
And my father burst out laughing and my mother goes, stop that. She picked it up and swats me with it. What the heck was what are you doing nosing around in my mattress? I was changing your sheets, and it wasn't exactly tucked way back. Okay. But it was just really funny to my own reaction. And then, I was 18, so I was an adult. I knew everything.
Yeah.
I knew nothing. The minute you think you know everything is just proof that you know nothing. And it's one of those things where I just thought, what the hell? Because my mother represented herself as quite pristine.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. I was thinking about what Supergirl's sex life must be like.
Oh, my word.
I thought to myself, oh my God, if she had a vibrator, it would probably be like, turning on a pile driver. She could have a G-spot orgasm from here to Metropolis. And
Definitely a hard hat area, that's for sure.
Yeah, and if she's a squirter, we're all fucked because it doesn't rain in the summertime. I mean, God, just think about how polluted the earth would be with pussy juice.
Oh my God, I know. It'd be like those people on the Science Channel. What is this strange, goofy stuff I found in my garden?
Damn rain, damn mud.
Traffic accidents. Power grid failures.
Did Mary Magdalene come?
Sinkholes like we never dreamed of.
Oh, you and your sprinkles.
Yeah. I said sinkholes, but,
Oh, Oh, I thought you said sprinkles.
See, now the cats are biting each other now. Why?
Oh, our cat, she's playing with this little panda bear that she just adores, and now it's friggin' dirty. You know, it's been dirty for like 2 weeks with saliva.
Oh, these guys have a... I get them all those... We have all those little toys, and they're okay for a while. But they have this one bird. It's a little bird. Doesn't have any feathers on it. It's all like fabric, soft fabric. And it's got catnip in it. And that bird shows up all kinds of bizarre places.
Oh, they're gonna get high.
Play with it, and then they'll put it right outside my daughter's bedroom door. Or they'll put it right in the middle of the ottoman coffee table thing in our living room. It's like they leave it. They're posing at different places. It's kind of odd. And then they have this nasty frickin' sock that they love more than anything. And then you try to change socks, catnip socks. No. They want the old, stinky, nasty sock. And I don't understand it. Okay, you can go. Okay, the screamer is now leaving the building, and there's the bird. He's going for the bird. He got the bird. All right. Now it's just me and Atlas, the Russian blue that weighs 25 pounds.
Our kitten, she's got this cute smile on her face when she's playing with that panda bear. It's so adorable.
Oh, isn't it sweet? They do smile. They really do.
Oh yeah.
Is she a rescue? She's a rescue. Oh no, you told me. Yeah, she is rescue.
Well, sort of. I mean, she came from a litter, and that woman my mom met at AA had to give away kittens, and so we got one.
That's so good. Both these guys are rescued. So I have to just ask you a question. When Atlas, the blue Russian, is happy, he smells like baby powder. Like florally. It's the best smell. And he smells like that. I have never had a cat that smells like that. Or like anything, really, except cat. And it's when he's happy. And then you can pick him up other times, like when he's asleep and you just wake him up, he just smells like a cat. But then you pet him, and all of a sudden, you get this wafting smell, this really pretty smell.
That's
all
it.
Three of us, we sit around looking at him going, are you cat? Are you cat? Are you from some other dimension? What are you? I've never, ever heard that.
That is interesting. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know, it's some kind of lubricant to ease the smell of cat shit. I don't know.
Maybe, could be. Because a cat this size, sometimes you really go, okay, which one of you people has been using the cat box? I just want to know.
I don't have that much knowledge for animals. I wouldn't know. I interview a ton of fucking vegans and vegetarians on this show. I'll tell you something. In horror movies, there are a lot of vegans. It's like a cult they're in.
That's funny, really?
Yeah. It's strange. It's really strange. It's like, hey, don't kill animals, but hey, let's kill each other.
Well, we're more deserving when you think about it. But, it's just when my doctor said to me earlier, I think the best thing for your health overall is just be as vegetarian as possible. And if you look at me as kidding, you can still eat meat, just not so much. I must have gotten a look on my face pretty quick. Because I'm thinking, okay, you took my bacon, all right? And I haven't been the same since. I've just been more bitter and more hostile than ever. So
You took my bacon.
Because I truly love bacon.
I do too.
Yeah, because scientifically, it's just a carcinogen. It's just a big, juicy strip of carcinogen.
Right.
But you know what they say is, if something's going to kill you, choose something you really care about, something you love. We're all going to die, right? A little bacon on the way, that's okay.
Did you ever see that? Did you ever
meat? Just I was like, oh, come on, I gotta have an In-N-Out burger every once in a while. And a fat burger, no fat burger on my birthday? What are you, crazy?
have you ever seen Epic Mealtime on YouTube?
No, I haven't.
It's been on for like almost 10 years. It's fucking nuts. These guys, they make meals with fucking 5 tons of bacon sometimes.
Oh, I've heard about them.
Yes. Check this out. Oh my God. So one year at Thanksgiving, they took a turkey and they stuffed it with a pig that had like 2 tons of bacon on it, and then they dressed the turkey with bacon, and oh my God, I cannot fucking believe they did that. And then they ate it, and there was like 79 calories in that overall. I was like, that is fucking nuts. And if you look at the early seasons compared to the later seasons, oh my God, they gained a lot of weight, those guys. And I heard a kid in Canada copied them and had a heart attack, and he was only like 15 or something.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's terrible. That's awful.
Yeah. I felt bad for that kid.
It's bizarre. It's like what you raised eating, and then you don't eat it anymore, and then you go back home and try to eat it again.
Yeah.
Disturbing.
It's very disturbing.
I was raised on red-eye gravy and biscuits and all kinds of fried stuff, you know.
Black-eyed peas. Yeah. Soul food.
Yeah.
Soul food.
I had fried chicken wings for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God. I don't even remember the last time I had actually fried chicken wings. They were so good.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God, they're good. I felt terrible the whole time I was eating them. Nah, bad of it. Didn't feel bad at all. I was like, okay, it's good. Yep, that's me, and I do not care.
It's been about 6 years for me since I had fried chicken wings. There was this Chinese restaurant I went to that didn't have a lot on the menu. It was like a Asian cuisine type of Chinese place that didn't have like the traditional pot stickers and egg rolls and chow mein and all that stuff that I like. So there was fried chicken wings and fries on the menu for like $5, and I was like, done, So I had that, and they were good. I mean, I wish they had sauce for me that was good, like barbecue, but I ate them dry, and they were pretty good.
That's amazing. Just fried chicken is so fucking good. It's just good.
It's bad for you, but it's good.
I love it. And it's so funny. It's just everything. I bake everything.
Mm-hmm.
You can't. And now I just want chicken wings. I just want fried chicken. That's all I'm thinking about.
Mm-hmm.
It's been 3 days, and I want the all I'm thinking about. I want more fried chicken. You go around and you look, in your neighborhood. Where's the closest fried chicken place? What do you mean there isn't one?
Yeah.
How's that possible? Because there's no fried chicken place within like 30 miles of where I live.
We just opened the KFC over here, and it was like around the block long for a whole month, and we finally got some the other day, and the quality of it was not as good, but the chicken was fucking great. We didn't like the mashed potatoes and gravy. Something was wrong with them. I had a chicken pot pie that was really, really hot and just really flavorless and stuff, but the chicken was fucking great, and I was drowning it in barbecue sauce and eating it up.
Oh man, that sounds good. I have to go to the grocery today. I wonder what I'll walk out with. Do you ever do that? Do you ever walk in and go, I have a list. I'll leave it in the car and see what happens.
No, we usually stick to the list, but then my mother, she's a compulsive shopper. She buys shit that wasn't on the list. And I'm like, come on, Mom, we got to stay in budget, She loves the shop.
Yeah.
We go to this discount grocery store here called Winco. It is fucking great. You can buy boxes of Kraft macaroni and cheese for 50 cents over there.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Excellent.
It is. It's great.
Weird is I shop a lot at Trader Joe's.
Oh, we go there too, yeah.
It's so inexpensive. It's like so much cheaper than the other one. It's like you walk out of there, if you spend $170, you got food for 2 weeks in a car full of grocery bags. You go to like Albertsons and do that, and you walk out with 2 bags.
Oh, I love Albertsons though.
I do too. Well, our Albertsons, recently they've taken away several things that have just upset me.
Lucky's, they bought out Lucky's.
Yeah.
But I love.
What's wrong with?
But I love Trader Joe's Chinese food. We had it last night for dinner.
Oh, it's good, isn't it?
Oh yeah, the fried rice and the orange chicken. Oh God, I could eat that till the end of time.
Oh, man, me too. I love that. Come back in, dear. Oh, oh. This cat sounds so sarcastic.
I got my first physical in 3 years in 2 weeks, and I'm not looking forward to it.
Oh, wow. Hey, congratulations on doing it.
Thanks. I gotta lose weight. I know that. I mean, I'm just obese. You know, I lost weight for a while earlier this year when I was on my diet, but then I got off it after I came back from LA because I gained 7 pounds there. I mean, we were eating at the Rainbow, you know, and all these great places, and I just put weight on again. But I gotta lose it again and stuff. And I'm worried about my back. My back's been killing me. I think it's because of the way I lay on my bed when I do my podcast. I think it's that. I hope it's not my kidneys again. I had some kidney trouble when I was in the hospital, but I hope it's not. I drink too much coffee and I drink too much carbonated shit.
Me too. I have, yeah. My kidneys are not, they're not as good as they should be. And I was drinking a phenomenal amount of carbonated stuff and coffee. Like I would drink 2 or 3 pots of coffee a day. You know, and I drink 2 or 3 sodas a day.
I quit soda back in July. When I was with you at Shakey's, that was like the first soda I had since July.
I have one. I'm supposed to. I allow myself one a week now.
Mm-hmm.
But it's amazing, you know, to have somebody look at you and go, "Hey, you're in remarkably good health." They took blood tests, no cancer markers, none at all. Yeah. Which was my biggest fear, you know, because I smoked for so long, and oh God, just to hear how they're looking at me going, "And you're pre-diabetic." I'm going, "What? I don't. The only thing I have that's sweet is sodas."
Oh, that's it.
And she just looked at me and smiled and went, "Uh-huh." And more than like 1 or 2 a week can do that to a person. And I went, "Oh." So that's under control now. That's gone.
Oh,
that's the sodas.
I'm glad. I hope I don't get that. Oh my God, it's not in my genetic makeup. I mean, we do have it on my mom's side of the family, but I hope I don't get it ever. You know, that would be just terrible.
Yeah,
I will tell you this, though.
My dad was diabetic.
Yeah.
Diabetic.
I will tell you this, though. When I do drink coffee on an empty stomach, it makes my blood sugar drop.
Yeah. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
It is a powerful liquid. Then I drink 2 cups a day, tops, instead of like 2 or 3 pots a day. I'm more tired, go figure.
Oh, yeah. Coffee can make you tired, you know, contrary to popular belief. I mean, it can make you tired as much as it can keep you awake as well.
It can. It really can. It's amazing to me. I just didn't know this stuff, you know. You just do what you do and you don't think about it.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing. But for her to look at me and go, "You are in remarkably good health, except for the kidneys and the pre-diabetic thing. You're freaking amazing." And I'm like, "How is that even possible?" You would think my attitude alone would do something.
Yeah.
I look at the rest of my family, and, you know, there's a lot of diabetes and a lot of cancer and a lot of bad knees. Everybody has bad knees. What is that? I have one bad knee, but I treat it with respect, and it respects me back. So, honestly, I think that's part of it, too. Because, you know, one of those knees, it'll just go out on you.
Mm-hmm.
And until I started really taking care of it better, paying attention to it, I'd be walking along and they'd just go backwards. And people look at you like, "What the fuck?" Would you mind just jigging my leg really hard as you can? Snap there.
How was your Halloween this year?
It was, we had 2 trick-or-treaters.
Same here.
Makes me so sad. And, you know, this is the first year we did not just outdo, you know, well, we did outdo everybody in the neighborhood because we were the only people that had anything up on our street. on one of our cross streets, there were two people who had some stuff. But it's just people didn't decorate, kids didn't go out, but then, financially, who can it do? Halloween decorations are a frivolous expense, really, when you get right down to it, unless you're hardcore like me, and then I figure it's just as important as a Christmas tree. But that's just me. And so there's just not that many decorations. And with the fires and everything, there weren't that many trick-or-treaters.
Mm-hmm.
But it was quiet.
Yeah.
And it was filled with horror movies. And just me and my husband sitting around watching horror movies and eating the candy nobody came for.
Yeah.
It's funny because I didn't eat it because I got all chocolate stuff, and I'm allergic to chocolate.
I am too, but I eat it anyways. Oh, I gotta tell you, you're gonna laugh at this. So we had 2 bags of candy, one for Tootsie Rolls and one with Crackle Bars and Reese's Peanut Butter Cups and Milk Duds. And she used that bag with the Milk Duds and the Reese's and everything for the trick-or-treaters, and there was only 2 trick-or-treaters left, right? The Tootsie Roll bag was unopened, and then starting that night all the way until last night, I was taking handfuls of it into my room, right? And then last night I couldn't find it, and I was like, "Ma, where'd it go?" And she's like, "It's gone now because you were eating it. You were eating everything from it." I'm like, "There was plenty more left over." And she's like, "Yeah, but it's gone now. I threw it away." So she goes to sleep. I go into the pantry and I find it at the bottom shelf, and I'm thinking to myself, "Did she really fucking think that I wasn't going to notice?" So I took it into my room. I grabbed a handful for last night and a handful for tonight, and now I'm done. I'll just put the rest in there, and she can do whatever she wants with it.
I always get a bag of vanilla Mickeys, vanilla Tootsie Rolls.
Yeah. This bag didn't have the vanilla ones. I was fucking pissed.
Why did they only put those out at Easter and Halloween? And I don't understand why. They're so good.
Yeah. I was pissed, and there was no chocolate Tootsie Pops either. There was raspberry and cherry ones, but that was it, and one lime one. I was like, "Where's all the other flavors? What the fuck? This is a weird bag."
I'm standing in this Albertsons, and I'm with a bag of candy, and it's Halloween.
Yeah.
Right? Because my husband, he gained a lot of weight. He's 6'2", but the bigger you are, the more you gain, because you can handle it. And so he gained a lot of weight, and he'd been on this diet, and he'd lost all the weight. He weighs what he weighed in high school.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been back riding his bike and stuff, and he has a bad back, so that's what his inspiration. And he's doing great. He looks great. And I'm standing there, and I'm looking at all this candy, and I'm going, "What do you mean $25.99 for a bag of candy?"
Yeah.
And I was standing there looking, going, "I cannot freaking believe this." And some guy from Britain walks in with his kid, and it's their first American Halloween. So it's 2 in the afternoon. They're gonna go home. Then the kid's gonna get dressed up and go trick or treating with his friends. He's 12, 13. His dad bought 6 bags, gigantor bags of candy.
Yeah.
And I'm going, who has $150, $200 to spend on candy? Where do you live? Can I just come by 6 times, and then I'll be set for the people that come to my house? I'll just get the candy from you. But I never saw anybody buy so much candy and be so happy about it. They were so excited. I honestly hope that kid had the best Halloween of his life.
My godparents, they get 200 trick-or-treaters a year because they use regular size candy bars, and word spreads around really fast in this town.
Oh wow! My mom always did that.
Yeah.
When our kids growing up, there were a lot of trick-or-treaters. She always had regular size candy.
I had a couple of those when I was trick-or-treating as a kid. Not often, though. It was always the miniatures. We used to go to, the shopping mall, and See's Candy would be there, and we'd get candy there. We get the chocolate pops and everything, lollipops, and stuff like that. And then, of course, the rich kids, they'd have their candy X-rayed, so there's no needles or drugs in them.
Yeah. I remember they used to do that in my hometown. They did that for a while. They opened up the hospital so everybody could come and get their candy X-rayed for free. Was there ever really a case of something being inside candy like that, or was that just a myth? I don't know.
I personally never saw it, but in some cases they would, and in school they would show those little educational short films about it, and I was like, that ain't gonna happen.
Well, it's so fun because where I grew up when I was a kid, and people didn't lock their doors. You just didn't. You didn't have to. You would get handmade caramel apples and
Oh yeah.
corn balls and like homemade edges and taffy, and it was amazing cookies, and just the most amazing homemade stuff.
Yeah.
From people, and you can't. That's gone. That's not gonna happen again, which is sad. But man, you knew whose house to go to. You knew. You knew.
Yeah. Oh my God! Last year during the month of October, I had 69 interviews, and 45 of them was with horror people. This year, I wanted to top it or equal it. I had 48 interviews, and 40 was with horror people, and so.
Oh, that's fabulous.
Yeah, I mean, okay, I guess last year was a fluke, so I knew I wasn't going to equal it or top it, but I'm proud of it though. I got to interview some really really good people from horror that I would never have guessed of getting and stuff. That was pretty good, I have to say.
That's great. You've been really kicking ass, man.
I'm trying. Yeah, I'm trying. God, it's just amazing. And people are, they love the transistor radio feel of this podcast.
It's great. It's wonderful. It is. It's really good. I listen to you now and again.
Yeah, there's this one podcaster up in Ohio. His show sounds like a transistor radio too. His name is Ed Torchy Smith, and he's interviewed a lot of former child actors from the 50s, a lot of the surviving Mouseketeers. And I actually got to interview a Mouseketeer after I got back from L.A. In September. Sharon, she was really lovely. I loved talking to her. She was at a convention in Concord this weekend. I wish I could have gone, but I couldn't. And I hope she's alive next year to be at the next one. But he has this show. Oh, he's interviewed like Bill Mummy. Remember him? Remember the Twilight Zone episode where he's that bad kid who does all those things?
Yes. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That was one of the more terrifying episodes. I love that.
Yeah, he's interviewed him. He interviewed Eddie Munster, who I interviewed, and I didn't particularly enjoy talking to him. He's a real curmudgeon.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, and then a bunch of others and stuff. And so, the transistor radio feel of podcasting it's out there, but people are listening to the regular podcasts with the mic and the mixer and all that stuff, which I plan on getting. I want to do a on-camera podcast when I get to LA eventually.
Oh, that'll be great. That'll be fun.
Yeah, do a Joe Rogan Experience type of podcast,
Yeah.
That'd be great. But I had so much fun. Having dinner with you in September. That was just, oh my God, a dream for me.
Where's fun? You guys made it to the Comedy Store on time, didn't you?
We were a little late, but we didn't miss any comics except for towards the end when we had to go to that movie screening afterwards. We saw Argus Hamilton. He was fucking hilarious. He was talking about he's talking about Felicity Huffman, about doing what was it, 14 days in jail or something for the bribe.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, man, 14 days in jail. It didn't take that long to get OJ off. And then And then he brings up Mark Maron afterwards, and Mark Maron had no material. He just went on a fucking rant like he does at the beginning of his podcast, and everyone was cracking up. He did a little bit of crowd work, you know. And then this one guy who should be famous by now, but he's not. His name's Rick Ingram. He's the co-host of the comedy. Yeah, he's the co-host of the Comedy Store podcast. He goes up there. He's riffing too. He doesn't have any material. Oh, he's fucking mercilessly fucking destroying this group of coworkers that were in the front row.
Oh my god!
Right there in the main room.
Great.
Yeah. And I saw a picture on the wall that had me rolling. Damon Wayans, Andrew Dice Clay, and did you know LaCasey and Siegel?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I interviewed Michael Siegel last month, and yeah, there was a picture of all four of them and two other comics. I'm blanking on their names, but I knew their faces, and I was just cracking up at that picture because I know the LaCasey and Siegel from the movie Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Oh my god! Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, how much fun was that? I felt bad because I thought, am I keeping these guys there?
You're what?
I was afraid I was keeping you there and you were going to be late.
Oh, no. We had plenty of time and stuff. And then we went to go see that movie that Barbara Crampton had, and it was really, really good. It reminded me of those cheesy made-for-video horror films back in the early 90s, you know, just really cheap, and the killings were really simple and stuff. I really enjoyed it.
Oh, that's good. Good.
Yeah.
Wow, man, I'm telling you.
And Joe said he liked you a lot. He wants to friend you on Facebook.
Oh, that would be lovely.
Yeah, I reminded him the other day about it. He's busy.
I haven't been on Facebook much lately or any of them, and I just haven't.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. You know, I go through phases. Well, we opened an Etsy store because, you know, when my mother died, she left me all these things, and I have been collecting things my entire life. And suddenly I went, you know what? I don't want these things. All these antiques and this whole collection of vintage clothes and stuff. And it's jewelry. Don't want them. Don't want them. Never wear them. Never appreciate them. Never use them. So why am I lugging them around? You know, seriously, it's like ridiculous. And suddenly I just realized I would like to be able, this is my dream. This is stupid, but it's my dream. One of my dreams is to be able to pack my entire house up in 24 hours.
Huh. Well, did you move?
No, we haven't moved yet. But they've raised our rent twice more. So, God love them. We're looking, and, yeah.
That sucks.
His rent's out of control down here, and, you know, I just want a small place. I don't want a house like this. I don't want all the crap that goes along with renting a house.
Well,
So we didn't have water for 5 fucking days. 5 days. We had no water. I'm like, there's a leak in a pipe. You can see it in the garage.
we've been there. Yeah.
Yeah. He's going to the garage, and you go, where's it going? It's going under the floor. My God, this house has the piping under the concrete floor and the garage. So you call the landlord on a Thursday. We'll be there on Monday. I'm like, you realize that it's coming up through the floor of the garage. Concrete, the garage floor, and it's coming up through the floor. There's like a huge puddle in the garage. Well, we'll take care of it on Monday. I'm like, well, in the meantime, we'll just turn the water off. Hello? We're human.
Yeah.
And then after they fixed it, then we were without hot water for 3 more days. So, come on. We would just turn it on when we wanted to shower, and then turn it back off. Not to have water for a week. That's crazy.
I got jury duty selection next week, which I'm not looking forward to. I'm just gonna go in there and say, yeah, I believe in the death penalty. It should be used on pedophiles, and mass murderers should go to war.
Ooh, that'll get you out of it.
Yeah.
I had to go, and I watched this one woman get out of it in the most clever way. She's sitting there and she's looking around, and we're all sitting there all freaking day waiting to see, waiting, which is fine because, you know, I had Car Sick by John Waters with me, a book. I was reading it. It's funny.
Love John Waters.
I was happy. And all of a sudden, the woman who's in control of the room comes out, and she says, does anyone have any questions? We're about to divide you into your groupings. And this one woman raises her hand and goes, I want to be on a jury more than anything in the whole world. It's the only thing on my bucket list. Please, please let me be on the jury. And they said her all right then and there. She wanted so bad. I want to make a decision that's going to affect somebody's life. I mean, she did so hard. And I'm sitting there, girl, this is good. You're good.
Yeah.
I thought that was terrific. I mean, she wanted to be on a jury more than I love my life. They don't want that. Boom, go home. They didn't want me either. I think putting down, you know, living actress comic, I don't think that was, you know, instilled in them the most trust. But at least I got a whole day where I could read and nobody interrupted me.
My Uncle Steve, I told you about at dinner. He when he was drafted into the Army, he saw guys fucking trying to get out of going, you know, talking about, you know, being gay, but they weren't really, you know, or acting psychotic and shit. And I saw it in that movie Big Wednesday with Jan Michael Vincent and Gary Busey and William Catt. You know,
yes,
yeah, it was like that was really happening back then. You know?
Yeah. Oh, man. You know, if you have to do it, I hope it's a simple thing.
Yeah.
If you have to be cloistered or something.
I know, it's insane. So there's this game that I like to play with guest Steph. We haven't had the chance yet to play it. And basically, how it works is, it's silly slumber party questions. And I ask you the question, you answer it, and then you ask me that same question, and I answer it.
Okay.
Steph, are you ticklish?
Yes, I am ticklish. Tommy, are you ticklish?
I am baby ticklish, yes.
Oh. You like being tickled?
I love being tickled, mainly because I have mommy issues. I do. I have a mommy complex and a half, I'll tell you. I love being tickled.
That's so funny. I hate it.
Yeah.
I mean, I violently hate it. It doesn't tickle. It doesn't feel good to me. It feels like painful.
Well, it depends on what the spots are. You know, I mean, some spots can be painful, but then you get the right ones, you know, and then it feels great.
Yeah, somebody tickles your box. That's heavenly.
Mm-hmm.
Don't touch my fucking feet. I mean, even when I buy new shoes, I have to look at the salesperson and go, don't touch my fucking feet. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm not responsible for what I will do to you in this entire store if you touch my feet.
Hopefully the guy's an Al Bundy type.
It's funny, ever since I was a kid, I've had to put my own shoes on in stores. I'm like, no, don't touch me. Don't touch me. Could be because my sister used to sit on me and tickle my feet until I peed myself.
Ooh,
Do you think that has anything to do with it?
Maybe. That is sexy, though, I have to say.
She used to sit on my face and fart, too. What a lovely person.
Is that all she did?
No. No.
Oh, yeah, my brother, he used to turn around and fart in my face. Oh, my God, that used to piss me off.
She'd always wait till I was asleep. And I would wake up to this big ass on my face farting with me. And I would scream, "Oh, God, you played on me." Isn't that funny? No, there's something cruel and sick in this.
What's your favorite part of the body?
Neck.
Necks.
That's neck.
That's a good place to tickle.
It is, but that's a good tickle.
Mm-hmm.
That is a good tickle. Which I guess it's just my feet. And my hands. Don't touch my feet and don't tickle my hands.
I think you know what my favorite part of the body is.
Well, yeah. And who can blame you, really?
The belly button.
Oh, I figured. Oh, my God. That's what I thought you were going to say.
Yeah. I am just obsessed with them. It started when I was 6 years old, and that girlfriend I had in first grade, she was the only girl that was good to me. You know, she let me play with hers in class, and it just set me up for the rest of my sex life. I mean, I just love it.
They're interesting. They're pretty cool, really.
Mm-hmm. They are.
I was wanted one of those pennies that you could put stuff in, like jewels, you know.
Oh, I have one of those. Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. That is very cool.
Oh God, you could fit crystal meth in mine.
The price is my bed. Those like kids got a belly button like that. Great.
Mm-hmm, you were telling
They do
me.
that on purpose. They tie that off on purpose.
Yeah.
Keep a certain way now. They can do that. She's got that 5-pointed star to let us know for this.
Mm-hmm. What color are your toenails painted?
Right now, they are not painted anything at the moment. I was going to paint them today, and I haven't decided on what color. I was thinking of blue red, but I hardly ever paint them red. And Christmas is coming.
Yes. Mine are not painted right now, but when I was in LA, they were purple with sparkles. Did you? Oh no, I was wearing shoes when I saw you, but I was showing them off.
I did not get to see them.
Huh?
I did not get to see them.
Yeah, because I was wearing shoes that night. Now that I think of it, but they were gorgeous. And back in April, you would have loved them too. They were blue green because Easter was coming.
Oh, that sounds pretty.
Oh God, I got so many compliments at the convention. Oh my God, there's this one actor. He was in Friday the 13th Part 2. He used to be on soap operas. His name's John Fury. I do a pod. I do. I no, I take. I get his autograph and his picture, and then as I'm turning around, I thought I heard someone call my name, so I turned back, and all I could see was him looking down at my toenails, like, "What the fuck?" Yeah.
Oh, man.
And then I was at Dark Delicacies, the horror shop in Burbank, and went to go see Betsy Baker from The Evil Dead. She's been a guest on the podcast, and
I just love her so much.
she loved my toenails too. She was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe I'm saying this to a man, but those are gorgeous."
That's the way it should be, though. Everybody should paint whatever they want to paint.
Yeah.
This whole gender-specific thing, a lot of it's just stupid.
Gender-specific shit. Yeah, it's just stupid.
Yeah. I mean, I can't use a urinal. I'm sure if I tried.
I can't use a urinal.
I cannot.
And then my favorite question: is there a stinky smell that just makes you gag?
Yes, there is. Musk.
Musk.
I have smelled that a lot easier to handle for me than musk.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't mean like a perfume with a musk scent in it. I just mean musk.
Yeah.
You know, like the essential oil that is just musk. It affects me like skunk smell affects people. I don't know why. It smells horrible to me. Skunk doesn't smell that bad to me. It doesn't smell bad at all. It's kind of sweet. But see, I think I smell things wrong. Is that possible?
Yeah, I mean, if you have really weird nostrils, yes.
It could be. Because musk really like just nauseous. I will openly gag if somebody has too much musk on in their perfume or it's too musky. I will gag.
Mm-hmm.
I have been known to actually clean outside and throw up twice on set because this woman I was working with, I'm wearing pure musk. I was like, what? I walked by her and went, what is that? And I'm gagging. It's pure musk. I ran outside and barfed all over the floor of the lawn.
Mm-hmm.
Not at all embarrassing on a day at work to vomit outside on the grass. And then they're like, should we make her wash? I'm like, no, just keep her away from me. So make her wash. My whole theory is if I don't like the way you smell, I will avoid you. Change your preferences to suit me. What smell makes you sick?
Wow, I didn't think you were going to ask because you didn't ask the last two questions.
I know, I'm like...
Yeah, I can't stand farts or feet that are really stinky. Yeah.
I used to tell her to smell my feet.
Really?
And I go, smell my feet. No, smell my feet. She never smelled my feet. One day I said, why do you do that when you've never even smelled them? She goes, I can guess. I can guess. Like, okay.
Oh my God. Yeah, I was in the hospital. When I got out of the hospital, I had really bad athlete's foot because during the last month I was there, I was just so cranky from the medication they gave me that the nurses didn't want to go near me or change my socks or anything. So it was really gross and the smell was awful. And then eventually I started soaking them and putting lotion on them, and then it went away.
Oh, that's good because that's painful. That can be painful.
It was really, really bad. Yeah. It was almost nightmarish. I'm glad no one was around me to smell it. It was pretty.
It's weird what smells. Just the first thing off my head was musk. You know why I'm coughing? This is fun. Did I tell you?
No, why?
I quit smoking.
Oh, I thought you quit smoking a while ago.
And I had been using blue e-cigs when I got crazy or cranky.
Mm-hmm.
Never had a problem with them. Absolutely fine. Then one day I'm going to order, reorder, and they were out about what I wanted. So I go to the tobacco store, and I buy a disposable one of a different brand. And I smoked one in, not even I'd say an eighth of another one. And I got really, really, really sick. So I go to the doctor, and I have that bizarre pneumonia, and it turns out that the e-cigs that I had been using weren't just electronic cigarettes. They were vapes, which is slightly different, and they had the oil in them. So they take x-rays of my lungs, and I have that weird pneumonia that goes with that. I had that twice, and I will be okay. But every once in a while, I just have these awful coughing fits, and in the horror movies when people throw up and demons come out of their mouths and it's black gunk.
Yeah.
That's pretty much me coughing. And I was sick as a dog. I was sick for 3 months. Just couldn't breathe. And they gave me all kinds of medications and antibiotics, and they turned in the brands that I used to the CDC and all that stuff. And my doctor literally said to me, what went down? And I said, well, these only last 2 or 3 days. And I said, wasn't using them that much anyway, but I said, man, by the time I started the second one, I knew something was wrong with me. So I just threw them away and came here, and she said, you're lucky you did, because if you had continued to smoke that, I can't promise you'd be here.
Wow.
So I've been, So I right then I just said, I'm not going to inhale anything but weed again for the rest of my life. And it's weird because how fortunate for me that that piece of this like 2 more miles.
Yeah. Wow.
It's one of those things where you just go, oh my God, there's people that died from this crap. You know, once you start talking like that, you know something's wrong with you. Stop it.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yep.
then they say they had no trouble, and then suddenly, you know, they had a breakdown.
Yeah.
But since there's been smoke and stuff around, I've been coughing again.
Mm-hmm. Nina Hartley posted this really sexy picture on Twitter.
Yeah?
Yeah. God, she's 60 years old. She still looks fucking like she did in the 80s.
See, that's being in league with Satan, which I'm all for.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
It's under certain circumstances, not really, but I know I look at people that are my age and go, how do you look that good? What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Where are you, and how quickly can I hit you with my car? And then I look at other people my age and go, Jesus Christ, did you never, ever take care of yourself one day in your life? I got treated like an old lady. It was really funny. I was on the phone, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking to this person that I'm going to audition for because she wanted to, I did not get this part, by the way. She wanted to be sure that I knew it wasn't comedy. I'm like, yeah, well, when you leave drama at the top of the page, it pretty much lets you know. Did not say that.
Yeah.
And she's like, do you understand? Do you? And I was like, yeah, I get it. I completely get it. I'm coherent. And we go to the audition. I'm sitting in the hall. She comes out, looks at me, looks around, calls my name. I'm right here. And she goes, no, I'm looking for the older woman. I'm like, you're looking for me. And she imagined that at 62, I would have short gray hair and be short and chubby and probably wearing a sweater. And she told me this.
Mm-hmm.
And I went, why does age suddenly make you fix your outfits and hairstyles?
Oh my God.
But she was embarrassed, and I just looked at her and said, really? I mean, you know, she's a casting director too. And I was like, you're kind of new to this, which is cool, and congratulations. You know, you know what you're doing. And all I could do to just keep from going, you know, just because somebody's 60 or over doesn't mean they look it or act it, or they certainly don't feel like it.
Yeah. Oh my God.
For her, she didn't accept it. She said, well, I thought that it looked like you, but you were too young to be you at this age. I was like, okay.
Ageism suck balls.
It does. It certainly does. Look at Helen Mirren. She's my goddess.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, one of them.
One of them.
Yeah. I have a lot of goddesses.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if I actually had shrines to the people that I would like to have shrines to in my house, it would just be a big shrine.
Yeah.
Filled with other shrines.
God, Nina's so fucking hot. I'm already wanking. I'll wait till I hang up to come because I respect you so much.
I was just going to say, let's hang up first, because, you know, I love you. There's certain things I don't want to share with you.
Yeah. Okay, let me tell you these jokes real quick.
Okay.
You know the difference between a Rubik's Cube and a man's dick?
No.
The more you play with it, the harder it gets. Ain't it the truth, babe?
It's true.
Okay, everybody knows the old nursery rhyme. There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many kids, she didn't know what to do. What did her right leg say to her left leg?
I don't know.
Nothing. They never met. lot of people I tell that to like that one.
That's good. My mother would love that.
So your mom had a sense of humor. She wasn't all bad.
No, she did. She had a great sense of humor. She was very naughty. And it was very funny. She was very funny.
Yeah. Well, Steph, I thank you so much for coming on. We had another fun one, like we always do.
Thank you. You always brighten up my year.
Oh, thank you so much. I'll send you my address so we can do the Christmas card thing.
Excellent. Thank you.
Okay. And I hope that gig you did last week, that show or whatever you were doing, I hope that goes well.
Me too. Me too. That's,
And the Perry Mason reboot. It's gonna be next year.
yeah.
Awesome. Awesome.
That's going to be great. That really is. Well, thank you, hon.
Oh,
You take care.
my pleasure, hon. Love you so much.
I love you.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, honey.
Well, there you have it. Stephanie Hodge. Ain't she a sweetheart? Thank you so much, Steph. I love our conversations, your humor, your insight and wisdom. I just adore you. If you like this video, everyone, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Add me as a friend on Facebook. Join my Tommy Kovac comedian